Good evening, partner. Good evening, share.
Good evening, Coach.
Ayan, no? Magandang gabi po sa ating nanonood. Sa mga nanonood mula sa iba't ibang bahagi ng mundo. Alam mo naman, no, si Miss Cher ay international star.
Global ba?
Global phenomenon yan. Eh, no? Episode 131 ka na, kapatid.
Oo,
No?
diba? Biruin
The
natin.
hesitant superstar. Ayun. Yeah, I'm excited about our episode tonight because we're going far away. No? We're talking to someone who will be in the Netherlands. So,
Yeah.
so exciting. Again, no? A lot of people are watching already. No? Of course, sa pangunguna ni Annabelle Johnson. Yan, kaibigan ni Engineer Jocelyn Cahigas yan. You know? Si Erwin Lancero, representing the beautiful city of Calamba, Laguna. And si MC Ken. Yan. Pabati from What About Coffee. Ay mga tagawa ko, share pag nandito ka, dadalhin kita dyan.
Ayan.
Sa loob ng University Hotel yan. What About Coffee. Yan. Si Ken, magandang gabi sa iyo, Ken. Si Ian Hulaton is of course watching already. No? Ang daming early birds, of course, yung mga taga Las Vegas, they're already watching. Si Jake and Tina Castro. At si partner Kaiser Galvez na narito na. Si Vince Blanco, magandang gabi sa iyo. Si Victor Mempin, of course, sa mga perennial early birds from the United Kingdom. Ayan. So without further ado, let's proceed with our top 3 takeaways.
Yes.
From
Actually,
last week.
Yes, this one is very simplified because last week natin, medyo nag-ano tayo eh. Tinop 3 natin ang ating top 3 dun sa last 2. O, di ba?
Tama. Galing, tama. So, that's the right way of putting it. Yan,
yeah, so to simplify, kasi we're students of being very clear in terms of yung yung equation natin ang pinaka-importante if there's a takeaway from the last episode, which is our also resto quote, which is aligned people plus trusted brand is equal to successful business.
Oh, yung reminder natin, the framework is in sequence, no? People, brand, and then business. So sabi doon, what kind of people? Aligned people. So what's aligned? What are aligned? No, yung values, no, yung beliefs, yung purpose, 'di ba? Yung goals aligned, no? Kasi pag aligned yung ating values, purpose, vision and goals, no? Yung decision making natin aligned rin eh. No? Saka yung ating passion, 'di ba? Aligned rin, no? So everyone will be working in as a unit without us, no? Without us motivating our teammates to work as a unit, no? Lahat 'yan, no? From the founder to the frontliners, no? Ano 'yan, importante na alignment is a prerequisite as we always say. And then when we talk about the brand, the goal is to build a brand that will be trusted. Diba, kitang-kita natin 'yan nung panahon ng pandemic, 'di ba? Ang daming brands na nag-emerge, online businesses, etc. And then you realize, no, kailangan talaga na-meet natin yung na-fulfill natin yung promise. Diba? Sometimes when we post, diba, sa social media, ito yung itsura, ito yung commitment, ito yung value, diba, that we are proposing, dapat ma-deliver yon para yung brand natin tinatrust. No? Consistency, yun, yung isang keyword na ginamit natin.
And also, Coach, I'd like to emphasize also the importance na that statement. It sounds very simple, but to even arrive to the word aligned, arrive to the word trusted, those two na sobrang bigat takes like decades to make it right and to make sure it's very clear. Di ba, Coach?
Oo, kaya nga na-point out natin, no? Isulat nyo sa notebook nyo, i-all caps nyo, i-red ballpen nyo, i-highlighter nyo pa, consistency. No, yung hindi ka nangangawit, you're consistent, no, walang compromise, you don't compromise. For example, if you stand for quality, you will always deliver quality. And if pag merong mga lapses, you take accountability and you correct it right away, di ba? Timely and responsive, sabi nga.
Ayan. So, simplified kasi excited ako, madami tayong tanong dun sa ating guest eh.
Okay. So, yun po. Ito, nakakatawa naman yung comment nito. Parang sabi niya, mas gwapo po si Coach sa personal. Thank you very much. Dalawa lang yan. Pangit talaga yung itsura ko sa screen. No? Di ba? Parang, Salamat ng marami, Ken, ha? Talagang mapapakapi na naman ako bukas yan sa'yo. Kasi pag Wednesday, nandyan ako sa What About Coffee.
So parang ayaw mong sabihin photogenic ka dapat kasi pag
Ah,
in person ibig
ah,
sabihin mas pogi ka sa picture
baka
ganun.
hindi ako telegenic. No? Siyempre, si paring Joven, may set ba to ngayon or nanonood lang
Magkasama
muna?
sila ngayon ni Hasmin, ni Jazz, ni best friend.
Talaga.
Nandun sila ngayon.
Talaga?
Sila,
Oo,
oo.
naku, naantala ko yung pagsasama niyo ni
Okay.
BFF. Okay, sorry. Ano na natin to para matapos na. Engineer Jocelyn Cahigas, siya po ang dahilan kung bakit narito yung guest namin tonight. So maraming salamat sa iyo, Engineer. And then si Kirby Sotalbo, representing ano rin yan, maraming taga Lagunang nanonood dito. Ito nasa
Mm.
bandang San Pedro yan, no? Santa Rosa. And then si PJ Veloso, nanonood rin sa atin. So sige, introduce mo na ang ating guest kasi ang dami nang excited na nag-aabang. Please share.
Yes. We're crossing the time zone. So, ang ating episode 131, From Purpose to Passion, the journey of bringing a taste of home to Cuijk. So, we present to you, we're very happy to have Miss Reggie Reyes, owner of Julian Eat House from Cuijk, Netherlands. Hi, Miss Reggie.
Yan. Hello, Miss
Hi.
Reggie.
Hello.
Good evening. What time is it there in the Netherlands?
It's 1:30 in the afternoon.
That's why it's a
Hi.
beautiful sunlight. No?
Yes.
So across the globe, we welcome you to coach and
Thank
share. And
you.
thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for guesting tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yes. Actually, before we start, please do say hi to anybody you like. You want to say hello to who's watching right now, and some of your friends to share it to.
Yeah, hello to everyone who's viewing this. So I hope I can answer all your questions, and I will try to help. And thank you to Jocelyn, because Jocelyn is the way that's why I have you this moment.
Yes, that's why Miss Jocelyn was so proud to even be associated and to know you. And we're very excited to ask about. Yes. Could you give us, I'll get right into it kasi madami siya. So what's your brief background on what your resto journey is like? Your background and how it happened, and even how'd you get there?
Yeah, actually it's not really planned. It was yeah, to make the story short, I met an Italian guy, and then he's an Italian chef in a very good restaurant here in Holland. So and then yeah, we had a son now after and then actually we had and then he had this dream to have an Italian restaurant. Actually, I am an engineer student in the Philippines, and then I'm here, and then I was in Holland, and then meeting this Italian chef. To make the story short, later in our life, after 5 years, we started a business. We started an Italian restaurant. I don't really know about restaurant, but the life brings me there. So we started in 1996. We started an Italian restaurant, and we have it. It's really he's really the best chef ever till now. Even though we are already not we are not together anymore, he's still the best Italian chef I ever meet, and of course a relationship with. And yeah, and we had a restaurant for 15 years, an Italian one, and then we separated, and after a while I thought I will never work in a restaurant anymore, because I really work hard then. And then it is and then after that I work in a different company, and just not after 1 year knowing that I really miss the restaurant. So I work in a hotel, in a Golden Tulip Hotel in here in Holland, and then I worked there for 1 year. And then it's really hard working, because I think I am the best employee they could ever have. So I thought maybe I'm working so hard, so I started my own. So I resigned. Even my manager wants me to stay. So I told him in 2012. He even warned me. He said, "It's a crisis time. It's a crisis year. So I think your restaurant will not work." And then, but I told him I work hard, so I will start my own. So in March 2012, I started my own restaurant. So then I named it Julian's Eight House, because actually that moment I really don't know so much. And I already have an experience for 15 years to have an Italian restaurant. So I thought I know what I'm doing. So I have this name, Julian's Eight House, because Julian is the name of my son.
Mhm.
So that's the reason why the name. And then after that, it's now almost 12. It's now 12 years, and I'm still here. So I proved to that manager of the hotel that I can do it. I think now I can say I'm proud because it's been 12 years and I'm still standing after all the crises that been going on the last few years, especially uh, the COVID,
Mhm.
and it's really hard. But then I'm still here.
Yes. And what a journey it has been.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, it
No?
is. It's I learned a lot. I learned a lot the last 12 years, because when I work in the Italian restaurant, it's mostly my husband who are really the one who's doing everything. No, not really. We are doing everything together. But then being alone now, the last 12 years,
Mhm.
it's been a journey.
And it's really admirable, di ba, Coach?
Oh, it's an inspiring story as sabi nga, as mentioned by Engineer Jocelyn. That's why she recommended that we no, we guest you in the episode tonight.
Mhm.
And it's always a proud moment for us to see a countryman, no, a fellow Filipino succeed, no? Especially with the story that you just shared with us. 12 years, but before the 12 years, you really earned your experiences, no, in the restaurant industry. And that's one thing that we always point out here in the show, that it requires a lot of patience and attention to details, hard work, but more importantly, it's about relationships,
Mhm.
relationships with customers, relationships with suppliers, and I'm sure that later on you will be able to share with us yung similar stories of how these relationships help you in life, no, life in a foreign land. No, and then she told us earlier, just for the information to everyone, she went to the Netherlands at the early age of 19. Diba? She was still a teenager. Diba? And now after
Right.
so many years, no, she now operates her own business, and it's been 12 years, including the pandemic years. Diba? So
Yes.
again, yung point out lang natin, isulat nyo sa
Mhm.
mga notebook nyo, no? You do not listen to to
Mhm. Mhm.
discouragements, no? Encouragements yung pakikinggan nyo, no? Yung tune out. Tune out
Yes.
nyo yung mga nagsasabi that you cannot do it, no? Ala yun, ano lang yun. Take it constructively. Take it as a challenge. Because you would know yourself more than they would know you. Sabi nga natin, di ba, people judge others by their actions. And, sad to say, no, a lot of times we are judgmental as people, di ba? To others, but we are biased to ourselves. So magandang yung lesson, no? Don't be discouraged. If you know deep inside, you know who you are, you know what you can do, pursue your vision, di ba? Pursue your passion and pursue your purpose.
Mhm.
Yun.
And then to highlight also the point that um it's a learning laden story, made very simple, but the struggle was there. But all I saw was the good things that you remembered out of it, as well as the best thing of having your son with a new name, of your new passion, that now your purpose as well. So as far as that's concerned, ano naman yung the ones that you've started off as key learnings that you've maintained and applied from your wisdom from previous experience?
Actually, just like I told you before, it's 15 long years. Then I am only following the one who knows everything. So, and having my own, I thought it will be okay. I can do it. So the first thing I said to myself, I can do it. And I took this restaurant, and I already look for businesses. And when I'm sitting here, I really feel that I can do it, because I said,
Mhm.
what will be the worst that will happen? And then it's playing in my head. So, and then I thought, oh, I can do that. I can do that. So, okay, I will take it. So I take the restaurant 12 years ago. And the most difficult thing that I um, experience is leading the people. So how can I let them work? how can I let them do what I want? So, and I am a small woman. So, and I, I have this kind of uh, personality that they don't really listen. So I really have to be the leader. So it's been a journey to know and to and also last crisis time, the COVID time, Dutch government really offer some new insights. They really offer me support. So one of the support is that coaching. So that's why I also very interested with two of you, because they give me they let me choose what kind of what do I need in the business, so that after the COVID time, then it will be for me, it will I can use the time. So I said coaching, because leadership is the one I have a problem with. And so I follow a coaching course with them, and the government faced everything. And so I learned a lot about leadership. I learned a lot how to manage my people. So they give me a really, one coach, she gave me really a very good answer, just like I am doing all those years as a mother, but not as a leader, not as a boss. So I have to stand up as a boss, because she said, when you are doing what you're doing, and I told her everything, and she said, it sounds like a mother. So when you are a mother, you will have children, but when you are the boss, you will have an employee, and they really will listen. So I put it in my head, and every time I have to say something, I don't say it kindly. I mean to say, not really bad, but then I say it as a boss and not as a mother. So, and then I get the result. So I'm happy after the crisis. I'm happy to practice that one, because sometimes we have our own personality and we are who we are. But then when you get the point that you have to lead someone, you have to lead your employees, and then you will get the result, because you already know your priority. You are confident enough to lead them, because I am the boss. So before, I'm not really confident to say I am the boss, but now I said I am the boss. Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe the other one is wrong. Maybe you will go left and maybe I will go right. But then I am the boss. We have to have where we have to go. So, and I am the only one who knows that, because I'm the boss. So you just listen, and later maybe you can tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm not, because I will listen. But that moment we are doing something, and there's only one word and there's only one person you have to follow, and that's me. It's my responsibility.
I am in
That's what I
awe.
learned.
I am in awe. I'm sorry, I had to intervene, because it's very International Women's Day. Post celebration. Yes, and congratulations. I am in awe, because it's really, it's a version of a high self-awareness of knowing what you can and seeking what you need. Right, coach? In terms of Miss Reggie, really, she knows her strengths, and she is accountable, but she did not, you didn't have like this hesitation of saying, this is what I need, and you sought it, and it's good that the government offered it.
Yeah,
Yes.
very important.
Yeah, so
As I was about to say, share, no, and yung ano lang, para lang dun sa mga nakikinig sa atin, for those who are listening,
yes.
it's a very important point. And ano lang natin, let's clarify yung ano, no, yung sometimes it's cultural, no, differences when you says, dito sa Pilipinas, when you say boss, di ba, iba yung connotation, di ba? It's a very loosely used word, no, even on the streets, boss, di ba, you say that, no, but the context being, no, about leadership, one of my favorite topics is leadership. No? Because you're very correct. No? And your coach is a brilliant coach, no, Miss Reggie. Because you do not treat, it's always a I wouldn't say mistake, no, but it's more of differentiating between a family and the workplace. Because in the workplace, you have to maintain professional decorum. No? So leadership is more pronounced in the workplace, because in aspects like clear direction, 'di ba? Preparation, leading by example, no? Yung pinakamagandang binanggit ni Miss Reggie, yung decisiveness. Because okay, I can listen to your inputs, I can listen to your insights, but at the end of the day, I am accountable for the business, so I will make the decision. And the role of everyone in the organization is to enthusiastically support the decision once it has been made. Diba? We cannot run the business by committee. Diba? Yung we cannot, and actually people, if you survey employees, and I've participated in several of these surveys, one of the things that they appreciate from their leaders, no? And tama yung sinabi ni Ms. Reg, no? You don't manage people, you lead people, you manage resources. Diba sinasabi nga, when you lead people, they actually are very appreciative if there is clear direction. No? Where are we going? Diba yun yung mga questions natin dun sa share, diba? Purpose to results framework. Diba? Number one question is yung why. Why are we here? Diba? Number two is where are we going? Diba? Number three is how do we get there? Yung tatlo na yon, actually yung leader ang nagpo-provide nun. Those are the purpose, the vision, and the strategy. And then sa plans, you can involve your people. No, the crafting of the plan, you can involve. For example, front of the house people, you can involve them, get them involved. No, so kasi sabi nga natin, di ba, involvement develops ownership. Di ba? Pero yung ownership is equal to accountability. So if you involve them in the process, for example, front of the house people, servers, they would have most of the opportunities to talk to customers. So the leader should maybe, encourage suggestions on how, what the customers are saying about our restaurant. Yeah, so, servers, okay, what are the top 3 things that you get as feedback from our customers? And in the same manner, the back of the house people, what are the top 3 opportunities in the kitchen that we can address? Diba? So andun yung firm, yung sabi nga natin, tough on results but kind to people. Diba? Pero yung motherly kasi, confusing. Very confusing yun para sa mga employees natin when we say we are the mother. And that is also unfair. Because may sariling magulang yan eh. Di ba? When they get home, they will get confused. No? Sino ba yung mami ko? No? Yung mami ko sa trabaho, yung mami ko sa bahay. So very great point. No? Yan. For those who are actually transitioning from running a small business to, kita nyo naman yung scale ng business ni Miss Reggie. It's not that small. No? Maybe later we can show pictures of the restaurant. And in her experience, no, and now she's one to admit, no, sipin mo 15 years in the Italian restaurant, 12 years in her own business, but she's the first to admit she is a student of leadership. No, hindi talaga pwedeng isa walang bahala or take for granted yung importance of leadership and to recognize the leader, no, ng aming pamilya, si Mami Sin Pineda mula sa Paranaque. Yan, mami ko talaga yan, Mami Sin Pineda from Paranaque. Ang dami nanonood, si Architect Peter Bontigao. Sila naman sila Architect Peter, sila yung mga project management. Yan. Maraming mga restaurants. And of course, andito na si Joven, nandito pa si Just Pestaño Distrito. No? Nanonood sila, Rose Nandier, iniintay kanila. Eden Idaya, yan, bumabate from I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's Wichen, or sorry for the pronunciation. Si Leslie Ngo, who owns an Italian restaurant as well, no? Di ba, guess natin, no? Si Leslie. Kumusta na kayo, Les? No? Gia Neto. At si Roxanne. Roxanne Son, uy, Magay, magandang gabi sa iyo, kapatid. Long time, no see. Arnold Regalado from Bulacan naman to, and si Rochelle Mudlong is watching. Janet Escat. No? Yun, ako yung mga places, watching from Sevenum. Si Rochelle Mudlong. Richard Ong, ito originally from Tondo, napunta sa Hawaii, ngayon nagbabakasyon dito sa Maynila. Hope to see you soon, bro. Si Miss Cynthia Bernardo ng University Hotel. Ayan, yung mga nanonood from Netherlands also, si Miss Angie. Ayan. Idol ko yan, si Miss Reggie Reyes. Sabi. Ayan, si Renz Trajano is also watching. Soon magiging guest natin si Dan Itchon Tanchoco. Ayan yung mga sa supplier ng meats. No? Magandang gabi sa iyo, brother. Ninya Karasig Komen. Melody May Hamito. No, yung nagmamasteral yan. We're proud to say na nagtatrabaho sa restaurant pero nagmamasteral pa rin. Leo Alvarado, kanina binanggit ni Miss Reggie yun, di ba? Yung tinanong siya, what do you need? Coaching. Di ba? Ang galing, di ba? For somebody who was 15 and plus 12, 27 years of experience, I need coaching. Di ba? Ang galing. The humility and the appreciation of what she needs. Leo Alvarado, magandang gabi sa'yo, brother. At si June Joko, magandang gabi po. Ayan. Sa pagpapatuloy ng ating episode, please share.
Ayan. I'd also like you to highlight Coach Reggie. Yes, of course, you're
Si Coach
also a coach
Reggie,
as well. Yes. In terms of what are the brand values of your restaurant?
I guess mostly because I am living in a small town of Cuijk, most of my clients are living here. It's not really a tourist place, so I always have the same people every time, so they have to come back. So when they don't come back, I will be having a problem. So that's why also that I learned also from a coach is that you have to have a goal. What do you really want? So I am confident enough, and they let me make something. That's why he said you really have to have a reason. So that you can tell it to everyone, not only with the clients, but also with your employees. So when you start with your employee, and I make this motto, that's what I learned. I said the people had to go out of that door with a smile. So so that when they come to my place, I can whatever we do, I have only one goal: to let people feel at home, to let people so that when they go out of my door, they can still remember me, and they can still, oh, I feel good in that restaurant. I smile when I am there. So they will remember. So it doesn't really matter. All small things you do, you put that goal you have. So sometimes we forgot it's too much. It's in a restaurant, it's a lot of things. It's you can't make it perfect because it's a lot of things. Of course you want it perfect, but then you have to have this one reason, and this reason is that reason. So that reason is, and we are happy because Filipino people are very popular with hospitality, and so I approach people the way they are my friends, or I mean to say that because I have this goal in my head, that they have to feel good.
Kinilabutan naman ako ron, share.
Yes, ako din
Oo,
eh.
kasi
Napa-speechless din
alam mo
ako.
bakit? Kasi dun sa Buffalo Wings and Things, yan din yung ano namin, no, mantra, one goal. The one goal is to make each customer eager to come back and excited to share their experience with others. Si Miss Reggie, she simplified it further. She said very simply, our goal is when customers leave the restaurant, they should be smiling. Diba? Ganun din yun, no? And sabi niya kanina, may binanggit siya, very important, no? She would remember, the customers would remember their experience in a positive way. Diba? So remarkability, sulat po natin yun, no? Remarkability and the sincerity of that one goal. Napakasimple po nun. Nung manager po ako, I was a on-floor manager for a lot of years, no? And I'm proud to say, no, yan ang goal ko rin, no? Pag pumasok sa pintuan ng restaurant yan, unang-una sa lahat, thank you very much. Because they could have gone to other restaurants. Lalo na kung yung restaurant mo nasa mall, di ba? They could have gone to 100 other restaurants, but they chose your restaurant for that time, that location. No? So thank you very much. And yun yung magsasabi, tama yung sinabi ni Ms. Reggie kanina, no? The reason, ang tawag natin dyan, start with the why. Diba? Yung bakit. No? Bakit ka mag-smile? Kaya ka nakasmile kasi natuwa ka dahil pinili na yung restaurant mo. Diba? And then when they enter the restaurant, you lead them to the table with open palms. Bakit? Kasi nga masaya ka eh. Diba? Parang, salamat po pinili nyo kami. This way to your table, ihahatid ko po kayo. Diba? So yung little moments na yun, no? Every little detail na yun, hanggang sa mag-menu conversation versus, di ba, iba yung menu presentation, saka order taking, di ba? Menu conversation, they feel the genuineness and your sincerity to give them the best experience. Di ba? Sabi ko nga, isa pang rule, baka makatulong to sa mga nakikinig. No? Nagawa mo yung trabaho mo as a server, pag hindi nangyari to, share, ito nangyari na ba sa ito? You're eating in a restaurant, nakapag-order take ka na, niluluto na yung pagkain mo, no? Tapos dumating yung pagkain sa kabilang mesa, sabi mo, ano yun? Meron pala nun. Oh, as a server, you did not do your job because hindi mo na naikwento sa kanila, hindi mo na tanong kung ano yung nais nilang experience for that day. So I always challenge myself when I was still a server and a manager before, no? So and then up to the point where, di ba, tatanungin mo, do you need to check back? Well, depende. If you want to make the customers happy, you have to check back. Di ba, parang, and when do you check back? Di ba, pag mga 1 bite pa lang, 2 bites pa lang, kasi after that, it's too late. Pag paubos, di ba? So, you know, all of those things put together, yun yung binabanggit ni Miss Reg kanina, hospitality. Because hospitality comes from the heart. Diba? Table visit, diba? Sabi niya kanina, talking to the customers, no? Making friends with them, building relationships. Not hindi lang transactions. Diba? Diba? Transformational relationships, yun ang gusto mo. And ako, I'm proud to say, I know si Miss Reggie, alam to eh. No, yung parang you go out of your restaurant on your day off and they see you on the streets and they smile at you, no? And they say, wow, they're proud to know you. Oh, siya yung Miss Reggie is the owner of, you know, Julian's House, no? And I know her, no? And, you know, they try to return the favor, no? Minsan, nag-duty ka sa restaurant, they bring some token, you know, little gifts, etc. And the kids, they grow up. No, I would imagine, in the 12 years of Julian House, merong mga nagsimula as customers na bata, and then they grew up to become, you know, and you know, those are the things that make it more enjoyable, not only for our customers, but for us. And again, no, the very simple goal. And ako, yan ang challenge ko, no, sa mga nagsisimula. And I will address, no, with courage, I would like to address people who are not yet owners, but are still working in the restaurant as employees. You do not practice that when you have your own restaurant already. You should practice that and make it a habit while you are still an employee. Because dito galing yan eh. You know, it should be a parang ano yan, no? You develop that the sincerity, the genuineness, and you genuinely enjoy what you're doing. Then lahat kayo, pati empleyado, no? That's applicable to the employees also, Coach Reggie, no? The employees should go home smiling also. Looking forward to go back the next day. And that's very simple. No? Parang sinimplify naman masyado, Coach. Eh, yun ang katotohanan. It's very simple. Now, when you talk about restaurants, it's about creating positive emotions. It's about creating remarkable memories that will make people smile. Yan.
Yes, ang insight filled indeed, Coach, di ba? And one part also that like to highlight how Coach Reggie started off. It's about the target market. She has full understanding of who she is serving. Because that's the first step of knowing how to do it and what do they want. Yes, the community. Plus, it boils down to it's a global market. So you have to be very clear and very simple. Because what we may understand as Filipinos may not come as natural to anybody who's eating there. But a smile is universal.
Yes. Hospitality and smile, you know, universal yan. It makes people feel good. Yan.
Oh, di ba? Yes, eto. This one is a little bit of a clincher in terms of like question because I'd like to get your insights in terms of how is the Filipino restaurant or culinary position during when it comes to global appreciation. I know you have an Italian restaurant, but when it comes to whatever you see, what's it like not to have like the Filipino resto in that stage?
No, actually, I don't have a Italian restaurant now. I had an Italian restaurant. That's also one of the mistakes I make 12 years ago because I didn't really know nothing about having my own, of course. Then I just started, and then I only know 15 years of an Italian restaurant. So I know all the system. I know everything inside out. And then I have to start my own. And then that's the only thing I know. So I started with the thing I know, an Italian one. So most of my menus, most of my food are Italian. But you see, it's so complicated because I'm a Filipino.
Yes.
So when people come inside, they're really looking for an Italian people. So it's not really, when I started this restaurant, it's a very small restaurant. And actually it's so complicated because it's an ice cream parlor. So everything is complicated at the start. And then I also have to go display scout because the Italian restaurant is 1 hour from here. So it's really a very complicated situation where I put myself in.
Hmm.
So at that moment, I have to make a switch after 1 year because it's not really working. Because the people don't understand. So, and I don't understand either what I'm doing. So I try to make a simple um, transformation. So I try to see what my clients wants. What am I doing in Cuijk? Who are the people who's coming to me? Why they are coming to me? And just like I mentioned before, I have already the gift to smile to people. So they just come to me. They really wants me. I mean to say because I smile. So I started to listen. I started to look back at my 1 year experience, and then one thing I noticed is that I am having this pasta and they are asking for noodles. So I make a change, and then I try to learn about my own. I try to learn what am I doing at home. So am I my friends like my noodles, so why not? So then I try to put it in my kitchen and I try to change the menu, and then it's becoming Asian and Asian most of the time, and then they know I'm a Filipino. So they ask the things like, what can you offer as a Filipino? So I started this a few years ago. I started to introduce the boodle fight. And I
Hmm.
started to, because there's not so much Filipino in the neighborhood, so I started to introduce the boodle fight with the reservations. So I managed to change my restaurant into the Asian fusion,
Mhm,
where
mhm,
influence of the Italian is there, but
mhm,
most of the time I don't deny me
mm,
as an Asian person. So that's what's happening, and it's also and then I'm trying uh, um, to develop my own, where my clients, I can give them what they want, and I could be happy too. So it's a lot of balance between. So
mhm,
it's a
mhm.
lot of learning process and a lot of changing without them noticing really a big change, but then
Mhm.
it's there. So that's what I do the last
Wow,
few years.
my gosh, that's really like a transition from listening to learning to even like implementing something that they wanted. And
Yes, because you must have a product to
mhm, mhm,
sell, and the product must sell. So you
mhm.
have to, and then but then you are you at the end of the day. So you have to do what you have to do, and be happy, uh, because you are changing, because not only that you need it, but also you feel good about it, and because you understand.
Yes. And they do feel your authenticity at the end of the day. Yeah.
I
Mm.
guess,
Yeah,
yeah.
highlight ko lang, no,
Mhm,
yung you saw me writing down in my notebook,
mhm,
yung mga listeners po natin, mga viewers. Number one, listen, no? Listen and observe, no? You don't know everything, so the best people to listen to, the best people to observe are your employees and your customers. No, number one. Number two is the authenticity, no? Ang galing ng storya, no? Yung listening and then giving the feedback that you are a Filipino. What can you offer as a Filipino? Di ba? We don't really connect you serving pasta. We want you to serve noodles. Di ba? And, sometimes it's not too obvious to us. We think of the market, we think of our own experience,
mm.
but the visuals, the ano no, the yearning for culture, authenticity, lalo ngayon, no, kasi yung I would imagine that's a unique proposition in that part of the world, di ba?
Mm.
The Filipino cuisine, di ba? So home cooked Filipino cuisine, authentically concocted and cooked by a Filipina, di ba? And then lastly, yung boodle fight, no?
Mhm.
Naging guest natin, tumawag sa akin nung isang araw, parang umaasenso na talaga. Nagtatanong na about yung franchising, si Rod Magnaye.
Aha!
Sarap-sarap, taga Canada, parang congratulations brother. Si Rod Magnaye, parang nakakatuwa yung batang yan. Sobrang, pwede po bang makipag-usap? Sabi nga niya, your boodle fight is, symbolic. No, because it's experiential. No, it's not just food, it's the total experience of having, that communal way of eating, especially after the pandemic, di ba? During the pandemic, we were deprived of that ano no, yung
Togetherness.
community, communal experiences, no? So ngayon, yung Boodle fight talagang ano yan magandang and it's again, it's a unique value proposition for Julian's Eight House in Cuijk. No? And then lastly is the innovation. Kasi some people listen, they hear, but they don't take feedback constructively. No? And nagiging stubborn, di ba? No, I know better because I'm the subject matter expert. I have 15 years experience in Italian restaurants. No? Hindi, ang mindset ni Miss Reggie is, okay, I will innovate. No, I will adjust. I will optimize the help of the government. May pattern, nakita mo? May pattern yung behavior ni Miss Reg as a coach, as a mentee, as a business person. No? Ano siya? Very fluid. Very nimble. No? So that's one thing that we should learn as entrepreneurs. As our business grow, lalo pag lumalaki, no? Huwag tayong mawawala ron sa pagiging nimble. No? Of course, without losing our DNA. And ang ganda ng placement ng DNA niya ngayon. No? Talagang it's natural for her to do what she loves doing because she's being asked to be Filipina.
Yes.
Ang
Yes.
galing yan, no? How it all came full circle.
Full
No?
circle.
You're in Europe, no, and then you're bringing the Filipino culture, which is natural to you because you're a Filipina anyways. So talagang pang International Women's Day itong
Yes.
episode.
Very much, yes. And then with all of that, I know you went through a lot. What are the most challenging and rewarding experiences you've had so far in your journey?
Now I think the system. I'm trying to because I am not really that business professional, or maybe of course I had the coach, but then I'm trying to put this a good system that it will work. So because mostly it's all about the system, and being a Filipino, sometimes I grow in Tondo, so I am a Tondo girl also, and I'm being here and having a restaurant, and I already have the space here in Cuijk. So now I only have to make it good behind my kitchen. I mean my employee. How can I bring them the system that it will help my restaurant grows? So that's why I'm trying to implement some system, and I'm trying also to systemize my head. As a Filipina, sometimes I am a little bit of everything. I intend to do a lot of things because I want a lot of things. So I have to put some system in my business and system in my head, so that my employee can also follow that system. And mostly now, it's still a challenge.
It's really
Ganda.
yeah, ang ganda. Because I wanted to there's a like a breakthrough in my head during one of the resto quotes that self-awareness is a prerequisite to excellence. And
Yes.
and hearing Coach Reggie, and I'm like, yes, it's very true.
Totoo yun. Validation siya, no? Si Miss Reggie, Coach Reggie, nung one of her, I think, 3 episodes from today, before this episode, I mean, we had yung resto quote, no, saying that, self-awareness is a prerequisite to excellence. You have to be aware of your limitations, your weaknesses, not only your strengths, no, not only your expertise, but also your limitations. So then you would be encouraged to synergize. You'd be encouraged to empower others, no. From my notes, no, eto, pang grand finals talaga to, mga kapatid, no, isulat nyo mga classmates. Na-recognize ni Miss Reggie, no, ang galing ng coach niya, kung sino man yung coach mo, ma'am, no, talagang napakahusay. Sabi niya, systems is equal, it will lead you to grow, no, kasi totoo yun. If you don't put in systems, if you don't standardize, no, number one, you will end up still doing everything, no. If you are maintaining that certain quality, tapos hindi ka naglagay ng sistema, ikaw pa rin ang gagawa niyan, no. So systems, actually, ang definition ko dyan, no, it's a culmination of combination of all things that I learned in the past. Now, systems are actually defined as something that will make it easier for your employees to make the right things happen consistently and fast. Ganun lang siya kasimple. If it is a system, dapat ganun yung nangyayari, no? If it is Doing the opposite, it's not a good system. No? System is equal to organization, system is equal to standards. Then it will allow you to grow, to scale. And that growth will come from empowerment. No? Kasi when we teach people within an organized system, you are able to bring out the best in them. Kasi it's not just hard work that you're teaching. And gaya ng kinikwento ko parati share, no? The first time I heard it was, life-changing for me from the owners of Jollibee. Di ba? You would think they will say, kaya nga Jollibee, di ba? Busy as a bee. They will say na hard work. No? Ang sinabi sa akin, hindi. Work smarter, not harder. No? Yun yung sistema. If you put in systems and standards, number one, it ensures yung consistency ng quality. Number two, it makes your people feel better because they can accomplish more things by being systematic and organized. Then yung work-life harmony nila hindi nako-compromise. Yon.
Yes. At saka hindi na siya alatsamba kasi may 'di ba, it can be replicated. And in the case of if you want to really like grow in another restaurant or any brand even, if you can replicate it with another set of people, then you've done a great system. Ayan. So I think this one is really important. Coming from your insight, what are your tips for kababayans looking to open Filipino restaurants when they currently live?
Of course, they still have to find out if the place, if it is really capable to hold on to that kind of business, how big it is. Just like me, most of the time, Filipino people are visiting my business and they are really proud. And then they will tell me like, why are you not opening just an authentic Filipino restaurant? Why? There's a lot of why, because they really want to be proud as a Filipino. And I am proud to be a Filipino. But then I know it won't work because it's not a big city. So I have to have a mix of everything where I can offer them also Filipino. So I don't have to hide as a Filipina. No. I am proud to be a Filipino, but then I know at the end of the day, who will come to my restaurant? It is mostly Dutch people. So because it's not because the Filipino people don't want it, but then they are not living in this system. So and so I have to. So the one that will open a restaurant, don't limit yourself to who you are. You just look at what it can happen. All what is the potential of the place. That's the word, I think. So you have to know your clients. If you only have 15 clients in Cuijk, why would you do just like a Filipino outside? Of course, they will, as Filipino, they will discover me just like you discover me now. I mean, but you have to you don't have no limits. So you just have to learn first what you really want. What will you do? Okay, if it is really just like in Den Haag, there's a Filipino restaurant there. It's good because I can't duplicate what she is doing in Cuijk because the place will not hold it. So I think they really have to have this kind of marketing, and they really have to search, and they really have to know who will be the potential clients, and so that they will know what will happen, so that they will not experience the first year that I have here in Cuijk.
It's a very high tuition fee.
Yes, they have to jump. So what they know, yeah.
Ganda nung insights doon, even ako as a sarili kong business, it's about not being too defined, not being too boxed, Don't put yourself in a box, 'di ba? Know your market, Tama yung sinabi niya, ang obvious naman nun, 15 lang yung Pilipino rito sa Cuijk, 'di ba? So how can my business survive? But sabi nga natin, the essence of being a Filipino is not just the cuisine.
Yes.
It's about the hospitality, it's about
Experience.
the experience, the totality of the experience, and having some Filipino cuisine adds to it, but it's not what defines your restaurant. It's the totality of the experience. I'm sure you offer drinks, though I've seen the pictures. Yeah, people are having a good time outside of the restaurant, the alfresco, di ba? And it's about the totality of that. And I like what you said about number one is knowing your market. Number two is to not not just the business, but do not put limits to yourself. Do not define yourself as someone who is, too limited to, parang ano it will be, in the future, it will be a deterrent for growth. Diba? Be flexible, allow for innovation, and continue to listen to the market. No? Yun yung mga nandito sa aking notebook.
Yes.
So speaking of notebook, no, at baka magtampo yung mga kanina pa nagpapabati rito, si Eden, Idaya, marami siya sinabi, ang daming ko pong natutunan kay Coach Reggie, dati po niya akong employee, a good boss, a good friend after work. Ayan. Si Lester Tabada, nandito rin, of course, yung mga regulars natin, si Nats Tobias from San Pedro, Laguna, Southwoods area, Ranger Rovers, this is watching too, Endel Vergara, Edward Michael Costales from Rome, Italy is watching. Sana linggo-linggo ka na namin kasama rito, kabayan. No? Si Nancy, no? Nancy is also watching. Si Kuya Erning, no? Ernesto Collado. No, ito yung daddy niya, yung original, isa sa mga original na cook sa pansiteria ng lolo ko. No, si Kuya Erning. And in time flies, no? Dati mga kakalaro ko lang yan sila. Sabi ni, of course, ni Engineer Cahigas, Ate Reggie, you're so inspiring indeed. No? Ako ay masabi.
Yes.
Anday ko nasulat sa notebook ko ngayong gabi. Si Dan Tanchoco, sabi niya, ang sarap makinig. Yan. Sana nanonood ka rin, hindi ka lang nakikinig. Parang ayaw mo akong makita nung sinabing mas pogi ako sa personal. Marami pong matutunan talaga pag si Tita Reggie ang kausap mo. Ayan, sabi ni Rochelle. Siyempre, mga regulars natin, Manuel Regondola, magandang gabi sa iyo, sir. Jacqueline Sebastian, Marvin Gaite, Brian Avengosa, si Brian Kuman, magandang gabi sa iyo. Jordi Silva, no? Sabi nito ni Miss Eden, nagdagdag pa siya ng komento dito, no? Sharing lang natin. Being a boss and owner, siya ng restaurant, hindi siya madamot magbigay ng information, paano lutuin ang bawat menu, tinuturo niya lahat sa iyo, ganyan po siya. Strict na boss pero best friend pag nasa labas ng trabaho, no? Friendly, no? Kasi genuine nga di ba?
Yes.
It's again, no, transformational relationships versus transactional. No? So, magandang gabi po sa ating lahat. Napaka-palad natin at dami nating natututunan ngayong gabi mula sa Netherlands. Go ahead, share.
Yes, and the hour went by as in lumipad lang siya,
Bilis,
sobrang bilis sa sobrang na napuno ang aking notebook din. Very importantly, what's next for Julian's as well as your special message to our the people who are viewing us?
I am still in the learning process, so I try to challenge myself to do other things, and I'm getting there, so I'm getting older, so I am trying to simplify everything. So I'm trying to enjoy the life that I have, and I'm so proud about the restaurant also because it's my work the last few years, and but I don't stop to. I am very flexible, so I don't really stop doing what I'm doing, but I'm still trying to learn a lot. Also, before the pandemic, I also try to. I also get my diploma for Lehrmeister so that I can teach other people. So how they, I can have a students or I can, I don't know if I can do what you're doing because I'm not really a media person. So, but then I try to challenge myself to do other things. Just like when I go home in the Philippines this January, maybe I will try to look for some opportunity to help our people so that they can also have some small business like this. But then I started with my own community. I started to share what I am doing now. So I hope some people will have something from, some people learn from me. I hope.
Definitely, no, hindi na po. Ako,
Yes.
dami kong natutunan,
Oo.
no, medyo magkasing edad tayo, pero no, I learned a lot from you tonight, Coach Reggie. No, we're very
Very
blessed,
inspired, yes.
very inspired, very blessed to have you. Ellie Van Veckhoven is also watching. Franz Di Mayuga is watching. We can see people from all around the globe, and I hope this is not the last time that we will be seeing you here in the show, no? Bagay na bagay, ma'am, no? Coach and share.
Coach.
Di ba? Binabanggit mo, no? And, thank you for being, you're now one of our coaches in our community of coaches here. Sabi ko nga kanina, it's 131st episode, but it never gets old, no? Yung learning about leadership, learning about the entrepreneurial journey, no? And siguro, share, let's allow our guests to, send a final message to our kababayans, to whoever you want to thank, ma'am. Final message po, Coach Reggie.
Now, thank you for having me here. I'm also learning a lot from both of you. And I'm also trying to learn about new things, just like you doing this. It's really very comforting to know that even you are getting older, even that you can still learn a lot of things. You keep on learning. Just keep on learning and just keep on trying.
Galing. How about you, Miss Cher?
Yes.
Would you like to deliver some insights or final messages
Yes.
before I share our resto quote?
I had to recover because there's just so much insight as well as so much inspiration. If there's one thing you can like write down and be focused on it, it's how Miss Reggie or Coach Reggie has simplified it. But as far as feeling and authenticity is concerned, we see it and we feel it. So dun pa lang, alam na natin na
Galing.
ang galing.
I'm totally inspired, no? And I feel empowered and equipped, no, to face tomorrow, no, with renewed parang ni-recharge na baterya,
Yes.
So, bagay na bagay yung ating yung ating resto quote for our episode and for our guest. Napakasimple lang niya, sinasabi lang niya, your purpose fuels passion. So, kanina na ilang beses, multiple times, our coach for the week, Coach Reggie, mentioned the reason, the motivation, the why of why she's doing things. No, that's why she's enjoying, no? Yan po yung importante, no? If we understand and appreciate our purpose, the why of what we are doing, then it doesn't, it's not even a job for us. It's not even work. Sometimes it doesn't feel like a business, no? It's about doing what you enjoy doing, which is actually your passion. So, sabi nga ni Steve Jobs, di ba, if you work on something that you're passionate about, no, I'm just paraphrasing, no, hindi ko maalala yung verbatim. So, if you work on your passion, you won't have to work a single day in your life. Nakikita natin yung ating kababayan, no, sabi nga niya kanina from Tondo, she made a long journey to Netherlands, and I hope to see her soon. Pag nakarating tayo dyan, if you're blessed to go to Netherlands, no, coincidentally, yung Netherlands, no, parang malaki, may probability akong makarating, share, parang nasa-sense ko, no? So, ibisitahin natin si Engineer Jocelyn and of course, yung Julian Eithouse, no? So again, maraming salamat po sa blessing ng mga viewers natin tonight. Thank you for supporting. Nako, may mga pahabol. Ito, si Cheche, no? Si Che. Merlisa, magandang gabi sa iyo. From Tugigaraw, Cagayan, mga viewers niya, no? May restaurant din to, no? Share, iayayain din natin dito to. Dati rin siya nagbabarko, no? At sinasabi rin ni Lynn, no? Hindi ko alam banggitin yung apelido, Zwires, no? Or Zwires. I learned a lot of things from you, Ate Reg. So magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. Maraming salamat. Chef Mawin, nanonood, no? Si Franz Di Mayuga, nanonood. Maraming salamat po. Every week, no? Na-inspire kami magpatuloy, no, every Tuesday because you're watching. Last time po yung episode natin, 8,000 views, no, and keep on sharing, no. Kung may natutunan po kayo, the essence is to coach and to share. So with that, we say stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless everyone. Salamat po.
Thank you so much, Miss Shelley.